Hi, boys and girls. We made it. This is our last Wednesday video together, and I look forward to seeing you on Zoom today. Listen, you guys have done an amazing job. We never could have predicted that we would have been teaching to you through a video camera or having a classroom Zoom. You guys have all persevered, and you've done it. I'm so very proud of you, and you should be proud of you. Let's start our video off today with our crustacean song. Remember this? Teacher Shelley taught it earlier in the week when she talked about the crabs. And she talked about the crab's arms. How many arms or legs, arms as octopus. I knew that, you knew that. And I heard you correcting me. So, how many legs does a crab have? Did you say 10? Because if you said 10, you're right. It has 8 legs and 2 pinchers. We call them pinchers, and I think Teacher Shelley referenced them also as legs with pinchers. So let's get started. We're going to sing our first song of a crustacean song, and you should know it, so sing along. And if you want to use your hands and with me, go ahead. And then we'll get started in talking about the cousin to the crab. And I'm not talking about the lobster, but the, what? Barnacle. You're right. We're going to talk about the barnacle. So first of all, let's get started with, get out your crab. Okay, friends, we're going to make a crab. So here's our 2 legs, and then we have 4 more. And so, which means we have 10 legs all together. So here we go. Crustacean, crustacean, be a friend to me. Crustacean, crustacean, living in the sea. I have 10 moving legs, move from side to side. I also be a barnacle and tuck my legs inside. Crustacean, crustacean, be a friend to me. Crustacean, crustacean, living in the sea. Thank you, friends, for singing along with me. I really appreciate that. And you sounded great. I can't wait to hear you sing at graduation. Okay, moving forward, we're going to need your pipe cleaners. We'll also need a coffee filter, a paintbrush, and your watercolors. Teacher Shelley put these items in your packet, so you should have them. Go and grab them, and we'll be right back so we can make a barnacle. Thanks, friends. Hi, boys and girls. We're going to talk about barnacles. And what I want to talk about barnacles, first of all, is that people think that barnacles are mollusks. And as Teacher Shelley explained in our videos from Monday and Tuesday, I know it's a bit confusing, but a barnacle is actually a crustacean. And just like a crab or a lobster or a shrimp, barnacles actually have legs inside their shells. And so that's what makes all of the, makes a barnacle a crustacean. And that's when we sang the song about crustacean, crustacean, be a friend to me. Crustacean, crustacean, living in the sea. So that's where that comes from. Now I'm going to read this about the bay barnacle. It says, when young, a barnacle glues its head to a rock, a dock, a shell, or a boat. It might even live on an animal like a horseshoe crab. A barnacle grows a hard white shell, and that shell is its home. Overlapping shell plates form walls in the shape of a circle. And so that's where we're going to use and have our project. This is where we're going to use the coffee filter, and that should be in your packet. At the top, 4 plates make a door. So let's go ahead and look at that right there. 4 plates make a door. It opens like the pedestal of a flower. So remember, we showed you that earlier today when we did our crustacean song. The door seals in water so the barnacle won't dry out. A bay barnacle is white. It is a 1/4 inch high and a 1/2 inch wide. The shell has sharp edges. And so you can see there, it's attached to a boat, or it could be on a dock. And you've seen them on rocks, probably down at Alki. Inside the shell, a barnacle is upside down. When it opens its doors, the barnacle sticks out 6 pairs of hairy legs. They sweep tiny floating plants and animals into the barnacle's mouth. Barnacles crowd together in their crusty homes. Sometimes younger barnacles live on top of the older ones. So right now, friends, we're going to go ahead and get our coffee filter. This is our coffee filter. We're going to get our wires, I can't remember the name, pipe cleaners out, and then your watercolors. And I have these out along with my paintbrush and my water to make colors. And we know that barnacles are white, but we thought it would be kind of fun to put a little bit of color on our barnacle, and then we'll go ahead and get started with how to do the rest. So let's get started with coloring our barnacle from white to a color. This is really hard for me because I'm trying to show you my project, but what I'm doing right now is I'm taking my watercolors and I'm using my paintbrush, and I'm coloring my coffee filter. And so after I have my coffee filter colored in the way that I want, and remember, barnacles, they're white, but we're just trying to have a little fun with this. We're going to go ahead and open up our coffee filter, and we're going to poke a little hole with our pipe cleaner, and we're going to give it some legs, some of those hairy legs that we were talking about earlier. So that's what it should look like. So what I did is I went through, and you can color all over. Your project can be better than mine, and I'm sure it will be. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to try to come up really close here, and I'm going to poke it through. So you see that? I poked it through to the point where I'm going to grab it inside of the coffee filter. So when I'm all done, I'm hoping that it looks like hairy legs that are coming out. And then at the very end, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all of my hairy legs from the barnacle. And so again, there's going to be probably 8 to 10. I'm going to make them all go in there. And at the very end of this, you're going to fold it at the end of your coffee filter and ask your parents or your nanny for help, or your grandparents, and you're going to staple it. Okay? And I'll show you what my product looks like. Hang on. My barnacle. Okay. So I should have 10 pipe cleaners coming out of my barnacle, and this is what it looks like. So I was going to set it up, but you can't see it if I go down, other than the hairy legs. So I look forward to seeing your projects. If you want to work on them before our Zoom at 11 o'clock on Wednesday, great. And if not, friends, I'm going to leave you with this. Are you ready? Crustacean, crustacean, you're a friend of mine. Crustacean, crustacean, living in the sea.